Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading for the element of air, which covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. These are general readings for the month of April, so take what works for you, leave the rest for somebody else. If you're interested as to why I read for the elements instead of the zodiac, that's linked in the description down below. Also, all the cards and decks and books and things that I'm working with in this video are linked down there as well. There's also a natal chart, and it's not sponsored or anything like that, but it's a really good product. It's one that I use. It's the one I go back to all the time. I'm not good with the zodiac, so that was one way for me to get a little bit more in depth about it, and it gives you your basic 12 houses and then 10 to 20 pages describing what all those little signs and symbols and how that interacts and what that all means. And it is super helpful if you are heading down the path of wanting to learn more about the zodiac, because there's just a lot there. So sorry, I'm just looking at one thing with my cards. And we're going to start off with our I-ching. That is what I've been doing here for a while. And I cast the hexagram beforehand. So, your hexagram for air for the month of April of 2025 is number 14. This one here. It is great possessions. He who possesses much supreme success. When they talk about supreme success, this is actually a really good thing. This means that you've achieved a lot in life. We'll break it down line by line here in a second. But to start off with, he who possesses much, they're not always talking about physical things. And a lot of stuff, when we look at the I-ching, it's morals, ethics, talents, skills. You have a great amount of knowledge that you've acquired. Air, that's kind of your thing anyway. But that is leading to this success. This means that you've been able to, whatever you really put your mind to, air, you're going to accomplish one way or another. And that's what they're discussing here. Our foundation line is, having no contact with evil, he is blameless. Therefore, even if he is involved in trouble, he remains without fault. This is saying, as long as your heart is in the right place, most of the time you're not even going to have anything going wrong. So in month of April, this is where you want to stay focused on the positive, the uplifting, the things that strengthen you and expand you. As long as you're staying there, even if things boil up around you, you're able to kind of distance yourself because you're not involved in all that drama. And I'm hearing also this is a time to avoid gossip, because gossip's really unhealthy, and that's one of the things that they're wanting to bring forward. So, our second place line, there are large supply wagons if there is some desired goal or destination. Setting out to attain it will involve no error. You have all the things that you need to succeed in whatever path you are headed on. The large supply wagon saying that the universe itself, in this instance, is waiting. What do you need? We're here to help. And that's your guides, your guardians, as well as God Source Divine. That doesn't mean it's going to do everything, but that's where you stick to those morals, those ethics, the uplifting aspect of life, and those great things that you possess. And that's where things get really awesome for you. So the large supply wagons, if there is some desired goal or destination, setting out to attain it will have no error. This is a call for you, air, to set a goal, or set 2 or 3, however many you feel like, things that you can accomplish in a short window of time, or something that you believe will come into your world within a certain bubble. Don't put time limits on the universe. If you set the goal, stay focused on that. Don't worry about the time in between. But they're saying that this is a way for the universe to tap you on the shoulder and be like, you've already accomplished a lot. What's next? Where are we going next? So, as we go into our third place line, a prince may win rewards from his emperor, but this is beyond an ordinary man's power. So, Uh, Basically, a prince may win rewards from his emperor, but this is beyond an ordinary man. The things that you're able to do, it's not so much that you're above the common, you're willing to do the work. You're willing to set yourself apart. Sometimes that in management positions, you have to separate yourself from the people you're managing. If you are in a position of leadership, to be a good leader, there are times you have to have empathy, but there's also that distance, and that's what they're saying is you have set yourself apart, Air, and that's allowing you to open these doors of greatness because you're not worrying so much about what other people think. You're not wrapped up in the day-to-day drama. It's there, you see it, you just choose not to participate in it, which allows you to move forward healthy in the upcoming month. So April is really looking like it's going to be a good month as long as you stay focused on those goals. Our fourth place line, pride is not involved, no error. Other people may point and be like, well, that person, they're not being a team player, but they're the leader of the team, so they have to be the one that sets the example. And it's not prideful. That is integrity. When you show integrity, you're doing the right thing, whether someone's looking or not. And that's what is coming forward for Air. When you walk with that integrity, there's no pride. Pride and integrity do not work well together. Arrogance and pride work really well together. But integrity is a peaceful way of showing the way. You're not involving that arrogance aspect. So this is reminding us that as we're moving forward, Air, that keep it humble because we all have more to learn, we all have more to grow. But you're in a really good spot. You have set yourself apart in the universe, and those around you, especially those who are in positions to help you, are noticing. So our fifth place line, it's the one broken one here. His sense of confidence enables him to be sociable and well respected. A dignified bearing is an asset, which is good fortune. Time and place. Some humor you can say with your buddies, some humor you choose to not repeat with a different group. And this is saying your sense of confidence enables you to be sociable and well respected. You can walk within any circle, Air. You have the ability to communicate, so to speak. You have a silver tongue. And this is really going to play out this month. This is how you get into those different positions. This is how the Emperor rewards you. This is a way that you're able to lead with confidence, but integrity and humility, because you have these gifts that other people are kind of envious of, and they're a little jealous. That's fine. Let them do their thing over there. Don't get involved in the drama, because a dignified bearing is an asset. Pick your actions, your words, and your attitude/personality to each situation you're in. And Air, that's something, especially the Geminis. Well, I'm going to poke at you a little bit. You have the ability to separate out all those, the twins of the Air. Therefore, you can actually walk this path way easier than some of the other ones can. But that doesn't mean the rest of them can't. Everyone in Air can do this. Geminis, you just have a little edge on the rest of them. So our capstone here, those under heaven's protection enjoy good fortune and success in everything. Air, the month of April, you sit under heaven's protection. You have been granted the supreme gift, if you will, of the golden tongue, the golden way of experiencing life. God, Source Divine, the universe wants to remind you that what are your goals this month? Set them, reaffirm them if it's necessary. If you've completed your New Year's resolution and you're on to the next one, this is a good time to check where those are at. If you haven't completed it, what are the next plateau steps? How are you going to achieve those? Really get your sights clear, according to the I-ching, on where you're headed. That's going to open up these other doors. Walk with integrity. Walk with grace. They're also saying walk with humility, so that ties into integrity. By doing that, you will put yourself in the positions, or the universe will guide you into the positions where you can rub shoulders with the correct people to help you achieve those goals. A lot of them you're going to be able to do on your own, I'm hearing. But if there's things that you need unique help for, this is what's coming up this month. So Air, be clear on what you're looking for, because this month is really heading the right direction. So we'll hop into the cards here. I read week by week. There's about 5 weeks in April, so we'll do 5 sets. For each week, we look at a guide or guardian, someone to help you along the way or protect you from some of the less pleasant things, a message from source, and then tarot is to help clear things up for that week. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, but if the weeks happen to fall in a different pattern for you, go with what's comfortable. Again, these are general. So, your first week's guide or guardian is the Rat. Be true to yourself and the universe will reward you, with Archangels Gabriel and Archangel Zadkiel. So this is very much working with water and with Gabriel, so you're dealing with some emotions as well. Air, you partner really well with water. There's a lot of growth that's there because you're balancing the heart and the mind. And the Rat in this aspect is saying, this is where you have to understand, you have to be true and honest with yourself. This is not a time for flippancy. This is not a time for, oh, that's interesting, negative self-talk. My guides are giving me images. This is not the time for you to look at yourself and be like, if I could just be better. I can't believe I messed up when I was in the 3rd grade. Okay, that could be more than a decade ago at this point. Why are we still thinking about that? This is where you learn to forgive yourself. Because when you're true to yourself, yes, we've all made mistakes, but we learn from them and we move forward. And that's where Archangel Gabriel is going to be uniquely beneficial. Air, your nature is to learn, to grow, and expand. Gabriel works very closely with emotions. So if it's a feeling of guilt or shame from the past, that's where her at specific talents can come in very helpful. So during this first week, it's really saying, be true to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Work with the guides that are coming forward because it's a way to help neutralize or help you see the lesson that was in that emotional situation from the past. So, your message from Source is the I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. This is more just clarification that during this week, with the Rat as the guide and Gabriel and Zadkiel coming forward, this is a time for self-forgiveness. This is a time to understand that the past gave you lessons, little seeds to plant. You have become the person you are today because of what has happened in your past. They're saying that there's some things in your past that no longer serve you from a baggage perspective, having that emotional response to it, to use the current term, the triggering effect. These are times where you can work through that and release it so that it's no longer, when someone mentions the 3rd grade, you don't flinch and be like, ow, because yeah, it happened in 3rd grade. That was a long time ago. So what? You're able to move past it. You learned the lesson and now you can, they said public speaking. So you're able to move past that and now you're in a different position and you're actually better off from the experience, but the emotional trigger point doesn't exist for you anymore. Your tarot, which probably brings some clarity to this, is the 9 of Michael. Your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire. Release the feelings of regret, guilt, worry with your angels. This is actually just confirmation for you. This is a time, this first week of April, of release. You have a great deal of things opening up for you. You have opportunities. You've got the universe bringing it out its carts. What do you need? What do you want? Where are we heading? This is your opportunity in this first week to say, I want this specific thing, but this is the thing. These are the things that I feel are in the way. How can we process this and remove them so that I can actually make the space for all of the rest of what my goals are here? Because you have to be able to achieve some things, you have to let go of others. And that's what they're reminding you this first week. Our second week, we have the Bear. Use your power with wisdom with Archangels Uriel and Jophiel. Bringing in that earth energy. Not always your best friend, air, but it still works. Uriel and Jophiel are here to help you stand in your authority, help you stand in your integrity and your honesty. I'm hearing this month there's the drama challenge for our air family. It's this energy of around you there's going to be some chaos, and that is like the I-ching says, allowing you to step aside, set yourself aside from it. Become the prince that the emperor will reward, but the common man can't achieve it, because you are not going to be in the drama. You fall into the drama, that's not always the best option. Set yourself apart, and the bear is bringing in the encouragement and the support to stand in your strength and be like, you keep your drama over there, I have things to do. Your message from Source is all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, and turning your gaze within. Sometimes we have to look inside ourselves, and this is something that I'm hearing very strongly for you. The bear, as a totem for the second week, is saying strength is rewarded. Strength is something that you have, and it's something you need to flex. All paths lead home say, it doesn't matter what your goal is. Achieving it is going to be your end game here. All paths lead home. Where is it you're going? Because your destination in the grand scheme of things is a spiritual destination. There's physical things that you want along the way. Those are awesome. But your spiritual destination is we're all reaching for and climbing the mountain to achieve an enlightened state, to free ourselves from some of the more unpleasant parts of our lives. And so the bear is saying, use your power that's within you. Use your wisdom. Use your strengths for what air is, which is very strong intellectual. And all paths lead home is saying, this is that inner authority. Using your intuition, which is more into the watery aspect, but you're still good with that tool. And you're turning your gaze within, because it's like, why would I bother with all of your drama? Like, oh, so there's some celebrity having a moment. How does that affect my life? It doesn't. And that's what they're saying, is you have the strength to look at that and be like, okay, that's a nice distraction, but I have some stuff I need to do. And it doesn't mean all work and no play, but it's saying pick the things that are important to you, and that's the focus. Don't worry about the rest of it. If it's not important and it's not helping you find haha in the moment, it's really not important at all. So your tarot, to help clarify some things here, we have the Four of Michael, insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for sleep or time off, seeking relief from stress. Do the things that are important to you. Follow the things that are important to you. But as all paths lead home, sometimes you need to take a break on the path. And that's where you find something that relaxes you. Find something that makes you laugh, or like if you're someone who likes to bake, do that. If you're someone who likes to go hiking, if it's warm enough, go for a hike, go sit in nature, go sit next to a creek, listen to the birds. Do the things that reward your soul. Air, you love to work, you love to think, you love to study, all the stuff that is really focused on air, and communication is huge, but sometimes quietness allows you to communicate with yourself, with God, Source, Divine, and sometimes it's just good to have a moment or two of time where you're not communicating at all, and that's where we can quiet the mind, go into meditation, and sometimes when you come out of those, you'll have those inspirations where Source has brought in the information where you're like, okay, this is your goal, here's your next couple of steps. Your third week guide or guardian is the rhinoceros. Be strong and courageous, with archangels Sandalphon and Raphael. Sandalphon is an awesome angel to work with. He's all about this planet. He's also all about do the work, but have fun. And the rhinoceros, when it says be strong and courageous, this is saying when you're in those roles where you are leading a team, or you're in a situation where others are looking up to you, or someone above is looking and critiquing with their little clipboard and check marks, it can be a little nerve-wracking. Sandalphon is like, dude, you got this. You know what you're doing. You know your task, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship. You know your next steps. Do what you know. You have the wisdom. You have the knowledge. The rhinoceros, with its strength and courageous, they're powerful beings. Not much is going to stop them in the natural world. And that's what we're hearing is when you set your sights on something, most everything will move for you, because you're a little intimidating when you get razor focused on something, and that's where you're at for this third week. Your message from Source is lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Sometimes you have to question a status quo at a job. Sometimes you have to question, where do I stand in this situation, this friend group, this relationship? When you start to question, it doesn't mean you have to tear it all apart. You're questioning to find out what's necessary, what's supposed to be there, and those things that aren't get removed. This month with I-ching is saying the universe is opening the floodgates. What are you looking for? The cards, on the other hand, are saying, okay, that's all available. Do you have room for it? So this is a time to sort some things out. Get rid of the stuff that's not working for you. It doesn't mean you're going to have to do a deep, thorough, spiritual dark night of the soul to clear everything out, although that is a possibility. But it's saying, what are those habits? What are those emotions? What are those things that are in the way? If it's not something that's valuable in your forward progression, remove it. Your tarot clarifier is the Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There's so much to accomplish. Make a detailed plan. Being watched over by someone kind. This is where Sandalphon can also come in, because he's like, yeah, we can do all those things. Don't worry about who's watching you. You are living with and walking with integrity. You do you. Let the rest of them deal with their own nonsense. And that's really what I'm hearing, and that's that accomplishing things, because you can lift the veil between the illusion of, I have to keep up with the Joneses. Lift the veil up and you're like, oh, they're not even keeping up with themselves. Okay, so maybe I don't have to compete with them anymore. Do what you need to do. Don't worry about the rest of them. And that's kind of been a theme for readings this month so far, is stepping back into your own control over your power and your life, and not worrying so much with what everyone else is doing. We have, for your 4th week, the cow. This is going to be interesting because I have a different opinion of cows. I was raised around cows and lived on a ranch for a while, so my opinion's a little more hostile towards those creatures. They're great, but they're also brats. The cow gives unconditional love and grace, working with Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary. So cows do give a lot, I will say that. And when you get a really gentle one, they are more affectionate in some ways than dogs. They just weigh 2,000 pounds, 1,500 to 2,000. And when we go with the unconditional love and grace, cows can be the most goofy, awkward creatures on the planet. But the flip side of them, they can be so graceful. When they're running across the field, their backs almost stay flat the whole time. It's way more smooth backed than a horse, which I could only imagine riding one. But the energy that's coming forward here with Raphael, who is your air angel, he is of the east and of air, so that's very much focused with you. And Mother Mary is this is the energy of communication without speaking, is what I'm hearing. This is you living your example. This is you living your love for other people, your spouse, for your children, whichever it is. You can say the words. I'm not saying not to do that. But how are you showing that as well? This 4th week, you've got big plans, Air. And that could be in the relationship. I'm hearing that this could be really taking your relationship to the next level, or maybe getting out of the tiny one-room apartment because you want to expand the family and that's one of your goals. To do that, you may have to sacrifice a little bit to achieve, which is unconditional love, and that's doing so with grace. But it also could be that you are in a position of leadership and you're showing how much you care about your team by guiding them, sometimes having to correct them, but showing them the way that you expect or how you would prefer them to work. These are all different things. Unconditional love means I take you where you are. I'm going to show you how to expand and turn this into something bigger. The choice is yours. It's up to you. And that's what you're doing this month, in this 4th week especially, Air, is you've got your goals and you're doing great things with it, but you also want to try to help anyone else who's on the path. Even if they're not sure where they're headed, you want to be able to at least say, well, here's a pathway if you're interested. Your message from Source is Breath of the Cosmos. My will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Get your plans, get them detailed. When you work with the unconditional love from the cow energy with Raphael and Mother Mary, that allows you to get really clear on what you want. And by that clarity, other people are seeing, oh, they're focused on this one thing, and that's why they are being a little bit hard on the rest of us, because they see where our potential is. they can see, you as air, you can see what this group is capable of. Whether it's the family, whether it's the work, whatever it is, you have this ability to put on a focus that is pinpoint accurate. And when you breathe the cosmos, it's micromanaging the universe, because you're saying, this is what I am after, this is what I want, this is where I'm headed. The I-ching saying, heaven's gates are open, what are you looking for? This fourth week is saying, now that you're seeing where things are headed, get really clear, because the universe doesn't, when it opens the gates, it usually is a lot going on all at one time. Again, air, you can multitask quite well, so that's not going to be an issue. But when you're clear on what it is you're hunting for, that's the important part. Your tarot clarifier for this fourth week is number 16, Changing Your Life with Archangel Kamael, a sudden revelation that offers freedom, breaking free from procrastination, embracing opportunities that bring change. This is the universe's confirmation saying, when you're willing and ready to do the things, that revealing that occurs is just immediate. It happens instantaneously. In that third week, they were referencing having some time to meditate, doing some chill, quieting the mind a little bit. And by doing that, you're allowing the universe to communicate. That's bringing in that burst of insight, that revelation experience. And this fourth week, by you showing that you actually care, that you're showing compassion about other people's well-being, not just your own, like that's your goals, improving where you're at, but you're willing to help other people along as well. Those are the changes that can really open a lot of doors in certain ways, but it may not be in ways that you personally are aware of. And Archangel Kamael is a very gentle angel to work with, and her presence is helping you tap into that energy from the cow and Mother Mary, specifically Mother Mary. It's allowing you to be generous but firm, as a mother always is, but it's allowing you that growth option as well. You're growing, but you're also willing to bring people and encourage them on their journeys as well. Your fifth week is Ladybird. It's supposed to be Ladybug, but we'll skip that. Accept happiness and good fortune with Archangel Premanik. And when we look at the Ladybug, it's good luck. It's good luck. It's all about growth. It's accepting the happiness and good fortune. The I-ching is saying, air, what do you want? Here's the table. Pick and choose as needed. The buffet table is open. The tarot and the oracle cards are saying, you want stuff? Great. You have big goals. Even better. What needs to be moved out of the way? What do you need to clear space for to allow that benefit to come in? The universe is holding open an amazing opportunity for you this month, air. And I'm getting this, I keep seeing golden piles around everything. And you standing in the middle, big smile. But there has to be the space. If you're not willing to make the space, the universe is going to be like, well, here it is if you want it. And the cards are saying there's some simple things to sort through to make that space. Again, general reading, take what works, but there is this opportunity right now for air to expand physically and spiritually. Message from Source is surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, making love to life. Okay, this is an awesome combination with these two, because accepting the happiness and good fortune and surrendering to the sweetness of life, this is your guide and guardian. It's pointing you towards the joy and happiness. Your message from Source is saying, this is what we have to offer. Sometimes surrender is letting go of the things that no longer serve, letting go of the things that are in the way, letting go of the roadblocks. But you're moving with such integrity. You're moving with such honesty. You know yourself better by the end of the month. You also know those around you better. You may have made some new friends. If you're single, you might have met that right person. One of those things where the universe tends to know better than we do in a lot of cases. And overall, you're heading in the right direction. Are you willing to surrender to this process of forward momentum, of the spiritual blessings that are being offered, spiritual and physical? They keep wanting to make sure that I don't forget that part. But you are in a really good spot. The I-ching is saying you're in the golden child energy. The cards are saying you have a lot of options available to you. You have a lot of things ready. Are you willing to make space? And then are you willing to surrender to the process? King of Raphael, warm, generous, and honorable with refinement. Yes, it is safe to trust the ability to accomplish many things at once, following your creative passion. This is your energy. You are Raphael's energy. You work with air specifically. There's also dolphins in the background if you didn't notice those. So this is all about having fun. This is all about enjoying the ride. This week, this final week of April, if I can get these cards up here. This is the energy of this last week. It's kind of like paradise. You're having fun. You're in the moment. You are living life to the fullest, and that is allowing so much excitement to come in. It sounds a little serious at times through some of these weeks' air, but the overall philosophy of what they're offering is these are the steps. But if you have fun doing it, those steps don't feel like work. It's actually really enjoyable to have those growths, to encourage others. And they're showing me this beautiful rose, and it's like you're encouraging it with a little bit of energy, and it's opening up, and that's the people around you. You're moving, you're kind of tending the soil, and these people are blooming because your guidance, whether it's physical, whether it's as an example, you're leading the charge. The universe is opening the floodgates. What are you willing to create? What are you willing to pick? You have a beautiful opportunity this month, Air, and that is to pick the things, take the steps, encourage and support those along the way who are willing to step into that moral and ethical integrity, whatever term you want to use. As long as they're willing to go that same righteous path, their path's going to be different than yours. But as long as they're being honest and upfront with it, that is where the flow kicks in, and that's what you have the ability to show them. So I hope this message resonates for our Air family out there. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and I will see you in the next video.